Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. Hope you're doing well. Talking today about how spiritually and emotionally everything that we think in here and hold in here internalizes into our physical body, and how linked our physical body is with our emotional well-being and our spiritual well-being and development. How that really works is it's a bit like Chinese medicine, which I'm a huge fan of. I don't claim to know much about. Maybe I should. But we used to know these really important ways to live and keep our body healthy in such a natural way thousands of years ago, and it was apparently really successful. I believe that. I can feel it was a really successful way to heal our bodies, and that got phased out because of the medical model that came in, which superseded Chinese medicine for some, not for all. So really, I'm not going to get into all the meridians and everything of the body, but keeping it really simple, I'm a strong believer that when we hold on to a certain emotion for too long, it's not been processed, it's not been worked with, it's not been accessed, may not even know it's there. What will happen is there'll be a certain part of your body that will then become ill. It will start to ail. You'll start to become aware that there's something going on. Now, we usually just think with the mind that, oh yeah, we've just got this illness going on. Actually, I always think more than that. I get really curious as to where that ailment is. And with my spiritual guidance, it's very much, for example, I've got such a problem with my left shoulder that isn't going away. And I've been very good at avoiding what's going on there. So the left side of every human being is the feminine side, and we all have a masculine side. And obviously, to be totally wholesome and in balance, we've got those two 50-50 working with each other in perfect sync. But usually that doesn't happen because life happens, things get in the way, so we get imbalances. So I've got an imbalance here on the left side of myself, which is my feminine side, and it's my shoulder. What burden have I been carrying for too long that it's been really flaring up, that I've had warning signs for a few years there's issues, and I've avoided it because I didn't want to go there with that issue. I know what it is, and I will have to work with it very soon, because I'm actually losing mobility rapidly in the shoulder, which doesn't help with the job I do. So I always say to people, be curious about the part of you that is beginning to give you warning signs, part of the body that may not be functioning as well as it can. For example, people who have issues with the liver, I often think of the function of that organ. Function is to purify, detox and release. What is it emotionally that maybe you've been holding on to that you don't know how to deal with? It's too big, you don't know how to let it go, maybe you don't want to let it go. Every part of us shows us something, and I always think it's the internalized emotions of trauma or pain or something that's happened that we've held on to for too long. It's the too long, it's the build up. It could even be past life. The body is here to help us. The body talks. The body gives us ailments to show us where we're out of alignment, where we may be misliving, where we hold the pain. So if Chinese medicine, all these things, all these woo-woo things I call them, is not your cup of tea, you could think of it more in logical terms using the medical model. Or for example, if we hold enough stress, we have heart attacks. Stress, pain around the heart, it internalizes. Stress is an emotion, isn't it? It's a feeling, and it actually has a physical effect, and that's the key. People with lower backs, often I'll know somebody's got a lower back issue before they've said they got a lower back issue. I'll ask them, do you have pain in a certain area of the spine? It's to do with the chakras. Each chakra, the vortexes that I've mentioned in one of my videos before, that corresponds to a particular organ, will start to be impacted emotionally and spiritually if you have certain issues in a certain area of your life. So when people often say, this is going on in my life, I've got a fear about this, I'll ask them, have you got an ailment in this part of your body? Typically they do. But it's really great for you to know for yourself. You don't have to necessarily go and study these things. It's okay to sort of look at your own body. Look at, I've got an issue with one of my eyes. I've got a spot that keeps moving around that, again, needs addressing. And I'm noticing what side of my body it is on. And what is it I don't want to see? What is it I'm not seeing clearly? And I could relate that to a few things. Some would say that if you work out what the emotional issue is, your body will start to self-heal. I'm a believer in that. But the minute you think, oh, that's not the case, You've just blocked that possibility's gone. It's mind over matter. You know, it's your body. You're in control of it more than anyone else. It's not just what you put in it, it's what you're thinking that affects it. So the body is here to support us even when it's not feeling well. It's here telling us something. It might even just be to slow down. But listen to you. You know you more than anyone else. So understand that there's many ways to heal ourselves, many ways we can do it for ourselves, many ways we can be compassionate to ourselves by just tuning in what is going on in my body, what organ, muscle, cell, ligament is screaming at me for some attention, and what information could that part of the body be holding that is trying to push through. Usually the ailments are the last resort. There will be other parts of your six senses that will be coming through to try and get you to look at an issue you've been carrying, because the soul is looking for ultimate liberation, detachment from anything worldly, anything physical, anything emotional. So we just flow. There is no attachment or detachment to anything. So when the body starts to talk, it's like the senses have been going, hello, been trying to flag your attention, and for whatever reason, it's been missed. I've been great at doing that. I can be a great procrastinator and avoider, but it always catches up with me. So I'm learning to sort of pick up my pace a bit more before it gets to that. Hope you have an awesome weekend, and speak to you next Saturday.